They're calling us trailer trash, undesirable. Leave us alone. We're not bothering anybody. We're paying our rent. Nobody's here is a criminal.
1 in 20 Americans live in mobile homes or trailers. Many of them could face eviction at any moment.
We already knew that we couldn't afford to go rent or live anywhere else. Why should we have to go rent when we own our home?
Investors all across the country are buying up mobile home parks. And these new owners can choose to drastically increase rent or repurpose the land without warning.
You're talking about families and you're talking about elderly that are on fixed incomes. Mobile home parks are the most affordable housing that there is right now.
I hope you can help me to get more time to find a home for my 5 brothers and my mother.
As one investor put it, affordable housing gets hotter when the nation gets poorer.
My mom didn't have to rely on the government for housing. If they move her to a place where she has to pay $1,300 rent for a 2-bedroom, for the rest of her life, she needs government assistance where she didn't before.
For low-income residents, there is often nowhere else to go.
What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And the guy puts a hot water heater in. He said, "You're going to take that with you?" I said, "What street corner am I going to put it on?"
When Alondra Ruiz Vasquez and her husband bought a home in Periwinkle Mobile Home Park in central Phoenix, they had no idea that they could be forced to leave. Many of her neighbors have lived in their mobile homes for decades.
Everybody has their own little space where we live. This is our home, we own it. We own the mobile home, but we don't own the land that it sits on. I just don't feel that we could and we should go rent somewhere where we own a home already. But unfortunately, the truth is that we don't own the land.
More than 70% of mobile home residents own their homes, but they still have to pay rent for the lot they sit on. And when rent prices spike or the parks close, residents can't just up and move their homes because mobile homes aren't really that mobile. They can cost thousands of dollars to move them, and they might even fall apart if you try.
When we bought the place, we thought it was never going to be taken away from us. We were thinking we're going to be here many, many years.
Grand Canyon University, or GCU, bought the Periwinkle mobile home lot 6.5 years ago. But residents were not served a notice to vacate the land until April 2022. Alondra and her husband originally moved to Periwinkle to be closer to their volunteer soccer club, which serves refugee children in the neighborhood.
This is my kitchen. We have a bathroom over there and we have 1 bedroom. But these kids, they're really special to us. They are from Burundi and they are refugee kids here to the United States. And they are members of our soccer club. When their parents became homeless, they were evicted. We were able to bring the kids here. We've been able to help a lot of people.
Many residents in the park worry their only option will be to live in the streets. Alondra's next-door neighbor, Jerry, has no idea where he will go.
Good to see you. You scared me the other day.
I bought this place when I was 55 years old, so it'd be the last place I have to go for the remainder of my life. So it was 28 years ago. I'm 83 years now. I'm in and out of the hospital on kind of heart problems. And my doctor said if I'm stressed, when I told him what the problem was, he said, try not to stress out over it. It doesn't matter whether I try not to or not. I wake up in the middle of the night and that's what I do in the middle of the night. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? They treat us like we're non-existent. Why the government don't step in and do something about this? Fight for us.
I started to worry about Jerry. Because I know I had a solution. I know I have family or friends. But I don't know where Jerry would go. I started to worry about my neighbor that lives right in front of me. She's a single mom. And I started losing sleep and staying awake at night just thinking, about the families that live here.
Phoenix has historically been known as one of the most affordable major metropolitan cities in the U.S., but that seems to be changing. For over 2 years during the pandemic, Phoenix suffered from the fastest growing home prices in the country. And even before the pandemic, 100,000 households couldn't afford their rent.
But we have a lot of mobile home parks here in the city of Phoenix that is currently allowing low-income people to have affordable housing. They've been paying rent for years and years. They've paid their property tax on this as any other homeowner.
This is Pamela Bridge, a lawyer with Community Legal Services. In January 2023, the Phoenix City Council authorized a $300,000 budget for the firm to provide assistance to mobile home tenants at Periwinkle and 2 other parks. But they are not permitted to represent undocumented residents who are often the most vulnerable to housing insecurity.
But we are getting mobile home calls every single day at Community Legal Services from different mobile home owners and tenants who are worried, who have been getting notices. We are seeing the same situation over and over again of the increased rents or the landlord who's deciding to sell. I think a lot of out-of-state investors think that they can do great business in Arizona, and that's what we're seeing, again, not just in the mobile home world, but like throughout all types of property owners.
In October 2021, the average rent in Phoenix reached nearly $1,500, which is triple what some residents pay in mobile home parks.